Good morning, I'm Dr. Gary Spainhauer with Spainhauer Chiropractic, and I'm putting together videos to educate my patients or anybody else that's interested in the health things we teach here at the clinic. The videos will give us an opportunity that if I say something, I can say, go look at the video, you can learn a little bit more from it. You can stop it, pause it, take notes, that kind of thing. So today's subject is intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting is very simply put, you eat, in this case, we're talking about you eat in an 8-hour window. And why do we do that? First of all, we know diabetes is rampant. Type 2 diabetes, as we see the people even in their teens and even some children. Also, earlier when I was young, 40 years ago or so, we never had adult onset diabetes. Rare, extremely rare until 50s, 60s, or 70s. In fact, I don't recall hearing much about it until you got much later in life. Why is it so rampant now? And primarily because of our dieting. We ate junk food in the 50s. How many people had Wonder Bread, had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, had the dessert for lunch? We ate a lot of junk back then that we know is not so good for us. The variable is we are now eating for 12 hours a day. We'll get up, we'll have breakfast. Everybody's taught us the most important meal of the day. Oftentimes it's sugary cereals, that kind of thing. But even if it's a healthy breakfast, you're starting eating 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Then people have to have a snack 4 hours later. Everybody's been taught, well, keep your metabolism up. And I'm going to show you how that's debunked. So then people will eat dinner 6, 7 o'clock at night. So generally a 12-hour window. We didn't do that. When I was young, you didn't eat between meals. That was a rule. Most people didn't. You didn't have snacks laying around. You ate a breakfast. You went off to school or did whatever you did, went off to work. You had lunch. You weren't supposed to eat between meals. Then you had dinner. Again, generally in a 10-hour window. 7 in the morning, 5 at night, 8 in the morning, 6 at night. Most people ate in that window. No between meals, 8-hour, 10-hour window. So then along came the idea, let's have a snack, let's raise your blood sugar, and oh, if we're really good, we're going to have a healthy snack. But anytime you put food in the body, you're increasing the insulin production, you're involving the pancreas. And insulin is used to take blood sugar when it's to enter into the cells. It's also used when we have enough blood sugar. It's going to mobilize into fatty acids and triglycerides and end up as glycogen stored in the liver. So we're always running on fuel, and we got a little too much. So as that goes on, we're gonna get heavier. We're gonna have more obesity. The insulin growth factor is a relationship between large amounts of that particular protein is correlated to heart disease, stroke, diabetes, of course, and that's always involved. Now let's cut back to what our recommendations are. 8-hour window, that's all you do. You eat in that 8 hours. You're not really cutting caloric intake, you're just eating what you normally do, and always try to be healthy. And some people are very, very healthy. I recommend continue to pursue that, but if you just condense to an 8-hour window your diet, then what happens after about 12 hours, let's say I look at noon to 8, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, that kind of range. But let's say you're the noon to 8, you don't eat anything. About 12 hours later, we're depleting the stored sugar, which is glycogen from the liver. We're depleting it. And the body searches for another level of food, which is fat. And the body does very well on fat. As you know, for thousands of years, man has eaten intermittently because food wasn't available. So people that could store fat lived longer, did well. The brain does really well on the ketones, which is a byproduct of fat metabolism. There's a clarity of mind that's greater. People do very well with fasting. So as the body looks for fat to use as fuel, which is a high quality fuel, we're taking the pancreas out of the loop, we're giving it a rest, and guess what happens to the metabolism? It goes up. Everybody says, well, if you're intermittent fasting, are you going to raise your metabolism? The answer is, or are you going to lower your metabolism? The answer is no. Lowered metabolism occurs from sustained decreased caloric intake that's below what the body needs to maintain that level. The body says, hey, we don't have enough food, we're eating 800 calories a day and we should have 1,600, and you'll lose weight Biggest Loser is a classic example, but just about everybody gains it back because their metabolism is fouled up. So again, back to what our intention is, getting the body to start using fat for fuel. Again, it does better. The dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer, heart disease, all those are related to excess insulin levels and insulin growth factor. Those are all elevated when you're eating these 12, 14 hours a day. So in a nutshell, if just about everybody listening to this video would say, I'm going to eat in an 8-hour window, if they would do that, you will lose weight, increase your metabolism. There's some things to eating on intermittent fasting. You want to raise your fats, good healthy fats, so farm or grass-fed meats, grass-fed butter, all are good. So ideally you're getting increase in fat slowly into your diet. Your body's using that for fuel. You're not restricting yourself, you're just changing the hours that you eat in. So it's really easy to do after you started. So if you're hesitant, go to a 10-hour window, then a 9-hour window, then an 8-hour. I've been able to, over the last 8 weeks, eat Thursday night at 7 o'clock, eat one meal 3:30 the next day, and not till 9:30 the next day. I was away at a seminar, and it was no big deal. So a couple key things. I think I've explained how it works. There's a lot of science behind it. There's no question in my mind it's healthy. We can get into more detail about the metabolism and what happens at another video. But it's easy, 8 hours window. Later add more to it. There's 2 tricks. One is apple cider vinegar, a couple teaspoons of those in water before each meal. Drink that down. It helps with digestion. It also helps with blood sugar regulation, kind of supports that. Second is that some people get hangry. They get irritable, they get hungry, and they want to reach for the snack, and they go, I'm going to work on the 8-hour window. Go grab a little Himalayan salt, a little pinch of it, not much. Put it in water, stir it up, drink that down. That'll raise your electrolytes. That'll help your irritability. They'll stave off the hunger. And like I said, it's easy to do. It's fun. I recommend you try this. Thank you for your time.